Archangel Michael says, "Your red alert has arrived." Your angel is not allowing you to skip this message at any cost. If you skip this, you will cry a lot. Please open this immediately. There are moments in life when silence feels louder than sound, when the weight pressing down on your heart cannot be explained in words, and when it feels like heaven itself is waiting for you to listen just a little longer. Right now, your angel stands near, patiently holding the message you were meant to receive, softly whispering your name with deep love, calling you not to turn away this time. The heavens have stirred. Something has shifted. This is not just another moment scrolling by. This is a moment where eternity touches time, where the unseen begins to move around you, and where your spirit is gently being drawn closer to the heart of God. Type Amen if you believe. There is a reason your eyes are here. There is a reason your heart is still beating. There is a reason your story did not end in the valley. Though storms tried to silence your soul and fear tried to bury your faith, you are still standing. Not because you never broke down, but because mercy picked you up when no one else could see the tears that fell in the dark. You are not forgotten. Heaven has never taken its eyes off you. God has been nearer to your brokenness than you ever imagined, and His love has stayed through every silent prayer, through every painful night, through every season where you thought you had no strength left. The world may have moved on, people may have misunderstood you, and some days may have felt like there was no one who truly saw the depth of your suffering. But God saw. He saw when you gave without expecting anything back. He saw when you forgave without receiving an apology. He saw when you loved without being loved in return. These moments didn't disappear into nothing. They were gathered, counted, treasured. The heavens recorded every single one, and now, the answer you've been waiting for is drawing near, not because you forced it, but because you trusted Him even when it hurt to do so. What if the fastest path to wealth was already inside your mind, waiting to be activated by a powerful sound wave? Scientists call it the money-attracting frequency, and once awakened, it begins drawing opportunities, success, and financial freedom like never before. Imagine the relief of no more bills and the joy of living your dreams. This is more than an offer, it is a divine turning point. Your destiny is waiting, but only if you choose to move now. Click the link in the video description and comments below to turn on this ancient brain wave today. The pain you have walked through has not been in vain. What you survived did not leave you empty. It carved room inside your soul for something greater. And even now, when it still hurts sometimes, when memories still linger like shadows, the Spirit of God is doing something sacred within you. He is turning the ashes into something beautiful. He is preparing your heart to hold joy again, not the kind that fades with circumstances, but the kind that rises even in the rain. The joy that comes from knowing your life is in His hands and your tomorrow is already wrapped in His promises. Type 1111 if you trust in God. You are not running out of time. You are being refined for the right time. There is a difference. What you feel as delay is often God's way of preparing the ground beneath your feet so when you rise with peace, not panic. He's not ignoring your prayers. He's shaping your future. He's not punishing your faith. He's building your endurance. You see the silence, but He sees the process. And though it feels quiet now, heaven is full of movement on your behalf. Jesus Christ, our Savior, has already walked the road you're on. He knows the loneliness of betrayal. He knows the sting of rejection. He knows the weight of sorrow and the sound of your cries even when your mouth doesn't form the words. That is why His presence is so gentle with the broken-hearted. That is why His voice doesn't shout when your soul is trembling. He whispers peace into the chaos, and He walks beside you even when you think you're walking alone. Let your heart rest here for a while. Let your spirit breathe. This isn't about rushing to the next step. This is about letting the love of Christ remind you that you are not too far gone, you are not too late, and you are not too broken to be used by God. He delights in lifting the ones the world overlooks. He finds beauty in the places we thought were ruined. He places value on the wounds we tried to hide. Because when we bring them to Him, He doesn't turn away. He doesn't shame us. He restores. And maybe you've spent years feeling like you missed your moment or wasted too many chances. Maybe you carry guilt for things no one else knows about. But grace still stands here, wide open, asking for nothing but your heart. Not your perfection, not your success, just your heart. He can heal what you thought would never feel whole again. He can breathe life where you thought everything had died. That's the kind of God He is, not distant, not angry, but tender, patient, full of compassion, and always ready to embrace you exactly where you are. You don't have to figure it all out. You don't have to carry it alone. The Lord is strong enough to carry what you're too weary to hold. Let Him. Let go of the pressure to be everything for everyone. Let go of the fear that you're too much or not enough. You were never meant to earn His love. You were always meant to receive it. And the more you let yourself fall into that love, the more you will feel the peace that passes understanding begin to settle in your bones. Type 222 if you trust Jesus. There is a stirring in the Spirit, a quiet echo carried through heaven's breath, whispering your name into the sacred hands of God. This message isn't reaching you by accident. It's not slipping into your day without meaning. This is your appointed time, wrapped in grace, resting gently upon the heart of the One who created you with purpose far deeper than your pain. Somewhere between the nights you felt forgotten and the days you pushed forward despite the heaviness, the heavens have chosen this moment to remind you that you are still seen, still loved, and still held. You've been walking through seasons that tried to harden your soul, moments where hope felt like a distant memory and peace seemed out of reach. The pressure to remain strong while everything inside you trembled was more than you thought you could carry, yet here you are. You kept waking up. You kept choosing to believe. You kept praying, even when all you had left were quiet whispers to God in the dark. Every tear you cried has been gathered. Not one fell unnoticed. The Father has been near you in every hidden ache, collecting your sorrow with care, never letting it fall to the ground as something wasted or forgotten. The presence of Jesus is so close right now. He doesn't rush you to feel better. He doesn't demand explanations for your exhaustion. He simply stands beside you, offering rest for your tired heart and shelter for your weary soul. He understands the weight you've been carrying and He is not disappointed in you for feeling burdened. His love is not based on how well you perform, how much you achieve, or how loudly you declare your faith. His love is based on who He is, unchanging, pure, faithful, and full of mercy. There are no broken pieces too shattered for His healing touch. There is no story too tangled that He cannot redeem. You may look at yourself and see all the mistakes, the wrong turns, the regret and the pain, but God looks at you and sees the one He still calls chosen, beloved, and worth saving. You are not disqualified by your past. You are not defined by your weakest moments. You are still part of the divine plan, still wrapped in promises that cannot be stolen by failure or fear. Type 555 to receive restoration. Some battles you've faced weren't because you were weak, but because your calling is greater than the pain you endured. The enemy tried to shake your foundation, tried to convince you that you were forgotten, but the truth is, the attack came because heaven sees something precious in you. You are a threat to darkness. You carry the light of Christ in a world that desperately needs it, and even in your brokenness, that light has not gone out. In fact, it shines brighter because of what you've overcome. This is the hour where what was hidden will be revealed. Where the seeds of your faith, planted in silence and watered with tears, will begin to sprout in ways you never imagined. The Lord has been working behind the scenes, aligning hearts, opening unseen doors, and moving mountains you couldn't even see. You may feel like nothing is changing, but in the spiritual realm, there is movement on your behalf. Your name has been spoken in heaven. Your prayers have been heard. And the shift you've been longing for is beginning, even now, even here. Let your soul breathe. You don't need to carry the guilt you've held onto so tightly. You don't need to earn what God has already freely given. There is grace for your confusion, mercy for your missteps, and peace for your panic. He knows how heavy the silence can be, how exhausting it is to smile while silently breaking, and how lonely it feels to be strong when no one knows how much you're hurting. But He knows. And He's not asking you to pretend anymore. He's inviting you to rest in His arms and let His love be the anchor you forgot you needed. Every moment you chose kindness, every time you forgave, every time you showed love even when your heart was still healing, none of that has been forgotten. Heaven celebrates those silent victories. Jesus treasures the parts of your story no one else saw. He's never been impressed by outward appearances. He cares about the posture of your heart, and in your quiet surrender, He sees your deepest faith. Faith that chose Him even when life didn't make sense. Faith that held on when letting go would have been easier. That kind of faith moves mountains. That kind of faith unlocks miracles. After decades in government lockdown, a short 9-word phrase has resurfaced, and those who whisper it daily are experiencing miracles of money and freedom. Researchers say it switches on a hidden abundance circuit in the brain, the same one billionaires unknowingly rely on. It's easy, fast, and astonishingly powerful. Click the link before this rare discovery is censored again. The answers you seek might not come in the way you expect. The healing might unfold slower than you'd like. But it will come. God is not a man that He should lie, and His promises are not empty. When He says He will restore you, He will. When He says you are loved, you are. When He says your life still holds purpose, it's because He is not finished writing your story. Your ending will not look like your middle. The pain may have been loud, but joy is rising quietly, faithfully, in the background, and soon, it will overflow. Even now, as you read this, the Spirit of God is wrapping around your heart, whispering calm into the places that once echoed with fear. He's not rushing your healing. He's holding you through it. And there will come a day when you'll look back and realize that the moments you thought were your breaking were actually the ones where He was making something new inside you. Something stronger. Something holy. Something beautiful. So lift your head, even if it shakes. Take a breath, even if it trembles. And trust that your red alert is not a warning of despair, but a call to awaken. A call to return. A call to believe again. You are being invited into deeper love, deeper hope, and deeper peace. This is not the end. This is a sacred beginning. Let the angels fight on your behalf. Let the Holy Spirit comfort what the world cannot touch. And let Jesus be the gentle shepherd who leads you into the light you forgot was still waiting for you. Type 1212 if you walk by faith. Sometimes the most sacred moments come wrapped in stillness, in the quiet spaces where your heart feels tender and your spirit almost too tired to hope again. But it's here, in the middle of that stillness, that heaven leans in a little closer, that the gentle presence of God surrounds you without demanding anything. There is no need to prove your worth here, no need to pretend you're stronger than you feel. In this moment, God already sees the real you, the one behind the mask, the one who's done their best to hold it all together while quietly breaking inside. He sees that version of you and calls you worthy, not because of what you've done, but because of who you are to Him. You don't have to understand the timing or the reasons. You just need to know this: God has not overlooked you. Even in the waiting, even in the wondering, His eyes have never turned away. Every part of your journey, from the nights you couldn't sleep to the mornings you forced yourself out of bed, has been witnessed and held in love. The Lord cherishes the tears you shed in silence. He understands the heaviness you don't always know how to express. You haven't walked a single step without His Spirit right beside you, guiding you, comforting you, and covering you. You may feel like you're in between places, not quite where you used to be, but not yet where you're going. That space can feel confusing, sometimes even lonely. But this in-between isn't a punishment. It's preparation. It's where God does His deepest work, where He softens the places in your heart that have been hardened by disappointment, and where He begins to plant seeds of restoration that will blossom in due time. The quiet seasons often hold the loudest promises, the ones not shouted from mountaintops but whispered in love, just for you. Type 1919 to receive miracles. There are angels surrounding you even now, ministering to your heart in ways you can't always see. There are prayers being answered that haven't fully reached your awareness yet, but they're already in motion. God's timing may not follow your timeline, but His timing is always perfect. When it's time, you'll understand why it took so long. You'll look back and see how every detour, every delay, and every moment of confusion was actually part of a divine redirection, one that led you closer to healing, to freedom, and to the person God created you to be. Jesus knows what it's like to be misunderstood, to be hurt, to carry burdens too heavy to explain. That's why His love is unlike any other. It meets you where you are, wraps around your deepest wounds, and promises not just comfort, but renewal. He doesn't ask you to climb your way back to Him. He comes down to where you are, sits beside you in the dark, and stays until you're strong enough to stand again. His love is patient. His love is healing. His love is for you. And even now, as you question whether you're doing enough or being enough, heaven is not disappointed in you. The grace of God isn't based on performance, it's based on relationship. He doesn't bless only those who have it all figured out. He blesses those who keep coming back, who keep trusting even when they don't understand, who choose faith over fear one more time, even when it feels impossible. That's you. You're here. And that matters more than you know. You've been through battles others don't even know about. You've carried weights with a smile on your face so that no one would worry. You've whispered prayers with shaky hands, believing in miracles even when the odds were against you. And all of it matters. Nothing is lost. God collects every moment. He honors every sacrifice. He hears every whispered plea. And His response isn't delayed, it's perfectly timed. The breakthrough is coming, and it won't be small. It will be more than you hoped for, more than you asked for, and more than you dreamed possible. But it starts here, in this moment, with this reminder: you are not alone. Not now. Not ever. God is still in control. His promises are still true. And His love is still enough to carry you through the storm. You don't have to have all the answers. You just need to rest in the truth that He does. And His plans for you are still full of hope, full of goodness, and full of life. A secret 9-word prayer, once classified under a forgotten program, is now reshaping lives across the globe. People are seeing unexpected deposits, financial breakthroughs, and emotional peace within days of using it. Scientists confirm it rewires the subconscious to attract prosperity naturally. It takes seconds, but the results can last a lifetime. Don't delay. Click the link before it disappears. Let yourself believe that again. Let yourself rest in the safety of His love. Stop running from the pain and start trusting the healing. Stop questioning your worth and start receiving His peace. You were never expected to have all the strength. That's what grace is for. That's why Jesus came, to carry what you cannot, to restore what you thought was lost, and to breathe life into what felt broken beyond repair. You are not stuck. You are being led. Every closed door is not a rejection, but a redirection. Every delay is not denial, but divine protection. What feels like silence may be the very space where God is building something you're not yet ready to carry. And that's not failure, that's love. A love that protects, that waits, that never gives up on you. A love that is speaking even now, through these words, straight into the places you've hidden away. There's more for you than what you've lost. There's more waiting ahead than the pain left behind. God isn't finished. The story hasn't ended. And the best pages are still being written. You are going to smile again, laugh again, love again, and feel alive again. But until then, it's okay to rest. It's okay to breathe. It's okay to simply be held. Let heaven remind you now that you were never forgotten. That your prayers were never pointless. That your life is more valuable than you know. You are part of something eternal, something holy, something deeply precious in the eyes of the Creator. And even when everything around you feels uncertain, God's love is not. He's not disappointed in your struggle. He's not ashamed of your doubts. He simply wants your heart. That's all He's ever wanted. And when you give Him that, when you let Him in, even to the messy, aching, uncertain places, that's when healing begins. That's when joy returns. That's when peace settles in like a soft covering over your soul. Type yes to affirm. You've been pressing forward for so long, holding your breath, waiting for something to shift. Deep in your heart, you've held on to pieces of hope, even when it felt like everything around you was falling apart. You've walked through silent battles with a strength you didn't know you had, and still, here you are, reading this, breathing, searching for something real, something holy, something that feels like home again. This is no accident. This is not coincidence. Your angel has been guiding you to this moment, to these words, to this reminder from heaven that you are not forgotten, and you never have been. When the nights were long and full of tears, God was right there, collecting every drop of sorrow like treasure. When your heart ached and your faith trembled, Jesus was sitting beside you, holding your pain as if it were His own. And in many ways, it was, because He carried every burden you've ever known when He stretched His arms wide in love, offering Himself as the ultimate sacrifice for your freedom. He didn't wait for you to be perfect. He didn't ask for you to have it all together. He loved you in your brokenness, and He still does now, without hesitation, without limits. There's something beautiful happening in your life, even if you can't see it yet. What may look like a standstill is really sacred ground. The kind of ground where God kneels beside you, not rushing, not forcing, just gently sowing seeds of peace, healing, and purpose into the soil of your soul. It may feel quiet, but there is holy movement in the silence. You are not stuck. You are being held in a divine embrace that is shaping you for everything that's coming. Type 666 if you trust Jesus. You have not been disqualified by your past. Whatever mistakes you've made, whatever detours you've taken, whatever pain you carry in the corners of your heart, none of it is too much for God's mercy. His grace was never about your ability to be perfect. It was always about His promise to stay with you, redeem you, and never let go. That promise still stands. No matter how far you feel you've wandered, you are only one whispered prayer away from being drawn back into His loving arms. You are not meant to live in fear. You are not meant to walk through life feeling like you're barely holding it all together. God didn't create you to carry everything alone. He created you to walk with Him, to lean on Him, to let Him be your strength when yours runs out. And if your hands are tired, if your heart feels heavy, if you've been holding it all in because you don't want to burden anyone, this is your invitation to finally let go. To let Him carry what you can't. To let Him heal what you can't explain. The love of Jesus is not distant or hard to reach. It is here, now, close enough to feel if you'd let yourself soften for just a moment. It's in the way your heart still longs for something more. It's in the way you haven't given up, even when everything inside you wanted to. That longing is holy. That ache is not weakness. It's the echo of your soul remembering who it belongs to. You were created for more than survival. You were made for joy, for love, for deep, abiding peace that doesn't depend on your circumstances. Even now, God is bringing together pieces of your life in ways you can't fully see. The people you've lost, the seasons that broke you, the dreams that felt like they were buried forever, none of them were wasted. Heaven wastes nothing. What was taken will be restored. What was broken will be rebuilt. What was lost will be redeemed. The timeline might not look like you imagined, but the promise still holds weight. You are still walking towards something sacred. Every step matters. Every breath matters. And you, most of all, matter deeply. Your faith might feel small today, and that's okay. It's not about how loud your prayers are or how strong you feel. It's about who you are praying to. A Savior who never left. A Father who delights in your return. A Spirit who comforts you in the middle of your storm. You don't need the answers. You just need to rest in the truth that He has them, and He is still guiding you through. The uncertainty doesn't mean He's absent. It means He's inviting you to trust, even when you don't understand. Don't let the voices of fear convince you that this is the end. Don't let the shadows tell you that God is done with you. You are just getting started. Your angel is watching, interceding, and protecting you more than you know. They've seen the danger you were kept from, the pain you were shielded from, the situations that were turned around without your knowledge. You have been covered. You are still being covered. And you are stepping into a season where you will understand why things didn't work out the way you once begged for. What if 7 minutes could rewrite your financial future forever? This hidden frequency, backed by neuroscience, flips the brain's natural wealth switch, unleashing unstoppable prosperity. People are calling it the money magnet sound, and it's already transforming lives. But hesitation means missing out while others move ahead. This is your moment to act. Click the link in the video description and comments below to awaken the wealth inside you today before the chance slips away. Because God wasn't saying no to punish you. He was saying not yet to prepare you. He was closing doors that would have led you away from your purpose. He was redirecting your heart so that you wouldn't settle for less than the love, the healing, the calling, and the peace He has prepared for you. You didn't lose the blessing. You're being led toward it, slowly, carefully, fully. The world might tell you to hurry, to prove yourself, to earn your worth. But heaven tells a different story. It says, you are already loved. You are already chosen. You are already enough. And the more you listen to that voice, the more peace will return. The more light will come in. The more you will find yourself becoming who God created you to be, not through striving, but through surrender. So pause. Breathe. Let your soul be reminded again that your life is not a mistake. Your pain is not permanent. Your journey is not over. Something good is still coming. Something holy is still unfolding. And you are exactly where you need to be for heaven to meet you. Let your heart lean into that truth. Let the Spirit of God wrap around the tender places in your soul and remind you that you're safe, that you're loved, that you're never forgotten. Your angel isn't letting you scroll past this because there is something sacred in these words, a call to return, a call to believe, a call to let Jesus carry you through the rest of this journey with the strength you didn't know you needed. Type 2323 if you agree. There is something sacred about the way God moves in the unseen, quietly, gently, never forcing, never loud, yet always powerful. Often, His presence wraps around us like a soft covering when we least expect it, especially when we feel empty, worn out, and unsure of how to keep going. And while life may have left scars on your heart, heaven still sees beauty in your story. It sees beyond your tiredness, beyond the pain you try to hide, beyond the mistakes you wish you could erase. Heaven sees the child of God who is still here, still breathing, still believing even when it hurts. That alone is a testimony. There is no shame in feeling broken. There is no failure in needing healing. If anything, it is in your weakness that God's strength becomes most visible. It's not in the moments where everything is perfect, but in the quiet, shattered corners of your life where Jesus sits closest. He doesn't wait for you to become stronger before He steps in. He steps in when you're weakest. He walks with you through the sorrow, through the confusion, through the grief, and He carries the weight when you're no longer able to lift your head. You've been holding a lot in your heart, things you can't always talk about, memories that still ache, questions that seem to remain unanswered. And yet, through it all, you've continued to press forward. Even with doubt, even with fear, even with heaviness pulling at your soul, you have not given up. That is not something to overlook. That is not something God ignores. Your perseverance is precious to Him. Your fight to keep going, even when you felt nothing changing, has touched heaven in ways you cannot imagine. There are days you may feel like you're behind, like you've lost too much time, like you've made too many mistakes. But God doesn't measure your worth by your timing or your achievements. He looks at your heart, and when He sees that fragile but steady flame of faith, He says, "This one is mine." You are not late. You are not less. You are right on time for a healing that is deeper than surface answers and louder than your fears. Type 2020 to claim miracles. God is not angry with you. He is not frustrated by your questions or impatient with your progress. He is not disappointed in your tears or surprised by your sorrow. He is a loving Father, patient and kind, slow to anger, quick to restore. When you fall, He does not walk away. He kneels down beside you. He whispers hope into your exhaustion. He reminds you of who you are, not what the world has called you, not what your past has tried to label you, but who He has always seen you to be, chosen, loved, and never forgotten. Jesus didn't promise a life without trials, but He promised His presence in every one of them. He promised peace that the world cannot give and joy that reaches beyond understanding. And while the storms may rise, and while the fire may burn around you, you will not be consumed. Because the one who walks on water still walks with you. The one who silenced storms still speaks peace into your nights. The one who rose from death is still breathing life into the parts of you that feel like they're fading away. Sometimes, healing comes slowly, like a sunrise breaking through the fog. Sometimes, miracles happen quietly, not in loud announcements, but in gentle shifts of your heart. And sometimes, deliverance shows up not as escape, but as endurance, the grace to keep standing when you thought you'd fall. The miracle is not always the removal of the storm, but the power to stand in it, knowing that your God is with you. And He is with you. Right now. In this very moment. You don't have to feel Him to know He's there. His presence is not limited by your emotions. His love is not held back by your questions. He is closer than your breath, holding your hand, covering you with peace that the world cannot understand. That stillness you feel deep in your heart right now, that's Him. That warmth rising in your spirit, that's Him. That sense of quiet courage stirring inside, that is not from yourself, that is the Holy Spirit moving gently in you. There will come a time when the pain that's been clinging to your heart will begin to lose its grip. There will come a time when the joy of the Lord won't just be a phrase you say, but something you feel rising within you like sunlight. There will come a time when the things that used to break you no longer have the power to steal your peace. Because slowly, tenderly, and faithfully, God is restoring what was broken. He's making you whole, not just fixing the outside, but renewing your heart from the inside out. You don't have to earn this love. You don't have to chase it. You don't have to prove yourself to be worthy of it. It's already yours. It has always been yours. Even in your lowest, darkest, most confused moments, you were still deeply loved by God. Nothing you've done has removed you from His grace. Nothing you've faced has disqualified you from His mercy. You are still His. And He is still for you. Take a moment to breathe that truth in. Let your soul rest in it. Let it sink past the noise, past the doubt, past the fear. You are held. You are safe. You are not walking this alone. Heaven is closer than it feels, and your angel has been fighting battles on your behalf that you may never even know about. Every delay, every pause, every closed door has carried divine protection. Every loss has been carried by hands strong enough to hold your sorrow and loving enough to turn it into joy, in His perfect time. The truth is simple: you were created for abundance, yet a dormant brain signal has been holding you back. Scientists call it the money-attracting frequency, and once awakened, it pulls wealth into your life like never before. Others who pressed play once are already transformed, living the life they dreamed of. Do not hesitate or let regret steal this chance. Click the link in the video description and comments below to unlock your prosperity now. This isn't just a message. This is a rescue. A soft nudge from the Spirit reminding you that you haven't been abandoned, that your best days are not behind you, and that you're not too far gone to be fully restored. God is not done with you. Your heart may be tired, but His strength is endless. Your vision may be blurred by tears, but His light is still guiding you. Keep going, not because everything makes sense, but because He is with you, and He will never fail you. Type Amen if you believe. Somewhere in the depths of your soul, beneath the weariness, the questions, and the ache of waiting, there is still a quiet whisper that refuses to fade. That whisper says, there is more. More than what you've seen, more than what you've lost, more than what you've suffered. And that whisper isn't your imagination. It's the gentle breath of God calling you back to His heart, reminding you that what He planted in you has not died, it's just been resting beneath the surface, waiting for the right time to rise. You've endured seasons that drained you, moments that tested everything you thought you believed, and days where all you could do was survive. But what you didn't see is how heaven was holding you the entire time. You were not abandoned, even when you felt alone. You were not ignored, even when your prayers seemed unanswered. The silence was not rejection. It was the stillness before restoration. It was the space where God was working, rearranging, healing, and protecting, even when you couldn't feel it.